Most of us believe that dangerous blood hunters belong in swamps, jungles, or some distant wilderness far away from our homes. But what if one of the most successful blood-feeding predators on Earth has been living beside us this entire time? Not in the wild, not deep inside a rainforest, but beneath our streets, inside our drains, and sometimes just a few feet from where we sleep. To most people, the Southern House Mosquito, Culex quinquefasciatus, is nothing more than an annoying insect we instinctively swat away. But entomologists see something entirely different. They see a master of adaptation, a creature so perfectly suited to human civilization that our cities themselves may have become its greatest sanctuary. So why would a tiny insect choose to live closer to humans than almost any other wild creature? And if these nocturnal hunters have been sharing our homes for centuries, how much of their hidden world have we never truly noticed? Most of us believe that dangerous blood hunters belong in swamps, jungles, or some distant wilderness far away from our homes. But what if one of the most successful blood-feeding predators on Earth has been living beside us this entire time? Not in the wild, not deep inside a rainforest, but beneath our streets, inside our drains, and sometimes just a few feet from where we sleep. To most people, the Southern House Mosquito, Culex quinquefasciatus, is nothing more than an annoying insect we instinctively swat away. But entomologists see something entirely different. They see a master of adaptation, a creature so perfectly suited to human civilization that our cities themselves may have become its greatest sanctuary. So why would a tiny insect choose to live closer to humans than almost any other wild creature? And if these nocturnal hunters have been sharing our homes for centuries, how much of their hidden world have we never truly noticed? Scientifically, Culex quinquefasciatus belongs to the family Culicidae, a lineage of insects that has survived and adapted alongside humans for millions of years. But classification alone tells only part of the story, because beneath those delicate wings lies a creature whose entire existence revolves around survival. A patient hunter, a highly specialized parasite, and perhaps one of the most successful urban survivors nature has ever produced. But here is where the story becomes deeply unsettling. Most people think of sharks, snakes, or large predators as the deadliest animals on Earth. They are wrong. Year after year, mosquitoes collectively kill more humans than any other animal on the planet through the diseases they help spread. Not lions, not crocodiles, not sharks, mosquitoes. Let that settle for a moment. And yet, even this story hides another contradiction, because not every mosquito is a blood hunter. In fact, the males live surprisingly peaceful lives. They don't bite. They don't hunt. They don't drink blood at all. While females search for blood to produce eggs, male mosquitoes spend their entire lives feeding on flower nectar, fruit juices, and plant sugars, almost like tiny vegetarians drifting quietly through the night. So why did nature create two sexes with such completely different lifestyles? And why would one of them evolve into a blood-feeding specialist while the other remains a harmless visitor of flowers? To understand that answer, we first have to enter the hidden world of Culex quinquefasciatus itself. So what kind of creature is Culex quinquefasciatus really? Despite their reputation, these tiny blood feeders are not reckless attackers. They are patient, they are selective, and above all, they are incredibly efficient. The female hunter does not waste precious energy pursuing every moving animal she encounters. Instead, she waits, she listens, and when the conditions are right, she moves with extraordinary precision. But her greatest weapon is something invisible, her senses. Because while we experience the world through sight and sound, this nighttime visitor experiences it through heat, moisture, and scent. Long before you hear that familiar buzzing near your ear, she may have already detected your presence. Entomologists have discovered that this species possesses an astonishing ability to sense temperature. To her, a sleeping body is not simply flesh. It is a glowing landscape, a source of warmth radiating through the darkness. But heat alone is not enough. Perhaps even more remarkable, is her sense of smell. The Southern House Mosquito can track carbon dioxide released with every breath you exhale. Once that invisible trail is detected, hundreds of microscopic receptors begin analyzing chemical compounds produced by your skin. Lactic acid, ammonia, body odor, humidity. Together, they create something as unique as a fingerprint, your scent. And some people unknowingly produce combinations that make them especially attractive to these tiny hunters. So what is the secret behind their hunting strategy? Not speed, not strength. Layers. First comes carbon dioxide, then body heat, then moisture, and finally, visual signals as the target gets closer. Step by step, signal after signal. A biological guidance system refined over millions of years. And once a blood meal is secured, the purpose behind the hunt becomes clear. Motherhood. After feeding, a female may lay hundreds of eggs at a time, arranging them into floating rafts on stagnant water. Storm drains, sewers, rain barrels, forgotten containers hidden in plain sight. Places that look insignificant to us often become nurseries for the next generation. Within days, larvae emerge beneath the surface, feeding, growing, and transforming until a new wave of adults takes flight. Again, and again, and again. But perhaps this is where our understanding begins to change. Most of us see these insects as little more than annoying pests, problems waiting to be swatted away. Yet ecologists see something very different. Beneath the water, their larvae nourish fish and countless aquatic predators. Above the surface, adults become food for bats, dragonflies, birds, frogs, and spiders. No chemical spray replaces those connections. No machine rebuilds those ancient relationships. Even the males, peaceful nectar drinkers that never taste blood, spend their lives visiting flowers and occasionally contributing to pollination. Not heroes, not monsters, not villains, simply survivors. Simply participants in a web of life far older than ourselves. And perhaps that raises an uncomfortable question. If these tiny blood hunters vanished tomorrow, would we really understand everything that vanished with them? So what should you actually look for if these nighttime visitors are already living around your home? Unlike bees or wasps, Culex quinquefasciatus doesn't build visible nests hanging from trees or walls. Their nurseries are far easier to overlook. A forgotten bucket, a clogged gutter, a storm drain, an old flower pot tray. Even a small patch of stagnant water hidden beneath leaves can become a cradle for hundreds of future adults. And if those breeding sites are active, the signs are often subtle. Tiny wriggling larvae just beneath the water's surface. Pupae darting downward when disturbed. Increased buzzing around porches after sunset. More bites during warm evenings. These are not random visitors. These are signs that an entire life cycle may already be unfolding nearby. But abandoned breeding sites tell a different story. The water dries up. The larvae disappear. The surface becomes still. The silent nursery has been left behind. And perhaps that is the strangest realization of all. While most of us move through our daily routines believing our homes are separate from nature, entire worlds of survival, reproduction, and adaptation may already be unfolding quietly beneath our feet every single night. Not in some distant jungle, not deep inside a swamp, but right outside our doors. So now I want to ask you something. After learning the true story of the Southern House Mosquito, do you still see this tiny insect the same way? Do you think these hidden blood hunters genuinely affect your life more than most people realize? And if an entire generation were already developing somewhere around your property tonight, would you even recognize the signs? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the hidden world living alongside us, don't forget to subscribe for more cinematic wildlife stories and fascinating discoveries from nature. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.